For another fire prevention story this week, we're visiting what they call the Chamber of Horrors. This is a room which is in the building of the fire department, the fire station, out here at the Norfolk Army Base Terminal. And with us here is Chief Welch, who is the instructor for the Navy's Structural Firefighting School. His job here is to train firefighters, whether they be fighting fires in houses or on shipboard or whatever it might be. He trains them. In this room, Chief Welch and his men have assembled a group of items that have caused fires or come very near to causing fires, some of them very disastrous ones. For instance, something as simple as this painted light bulb. I understand, Chief, that caused quite a disastrous fire.
Joel, as you know, all paints and varnishes, lacquers and so forth are flammable and should never be put on light bulbs because when heated to their ignition temperature, they give off the flammable vapors which readily ignite, and of course any combustible materials that are close to them are ignited from the heat given off by the paint burning.
So that was quite a fire before it was put out.
That was an extensive fire in the room.
All right, now I see a little hot plate over here, and that, of course, is something that's very common. People use them very frequently. This one looks like it's in pretty bad shape. It looks like it was in pretty bad fire.
This hot plate, Joel, as you see from use and so forth, the cords get deteriorated, and, of course, they break down, cause arcs and sparks. The end here where the plug was attached was probably loose. The arc started a fire, and the hot plate probably caused is one of the heavier damages as we've had from this particular thing, which was around $20,000.
This started a $20,000 fire?
This hot plate started about a $20,000 fire.
Mm. You think it was from the deteriorating cord then that
the cord is the cause, and of course the plug that has given way too.
Uh-huh. Speaking of cords, I see a trouble light lying over here. And that cord looks like it's in rather bad shape, too. Did a fire result from this, or was that a lucky one?
This was a lucky one, Joe. This was discovered before the fire started and was removed by one of our inspectors, and, of course, the fire didn't happen.
Well, that was lucky, I must say. Well, let's look around here and see what else we have on the shelf. Something that might be found around the usual home. I see something over here that looks, there's an iron. Let's get this while we're about it, too, because I want to talk about that. That looks like it's an interesting bit of extension cord work. How about that iron? That's rather common practice, or all too common practice, I guess, isn't it?
Well, that's the same old story, Joe, of the lady that's ironing the shirt or finishes ironing one and the doorbell rings or the phone rings and she runs to the phone or to the door, or the neighbor hollers over the back fence and she runs out to the back porch to pass a few words of gossip and so forth, and the iron is momentarily forgotten. This is the result.
Evidently, this was caught in time.
This was caught in time, and just the charring condition that you notice on the wood before the fire started.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's this fancy extension here? It looks like they put two cords together of different types.
Joel, this, as you can see on the front here, is an asbestos-covered iron cord. But evidently the cord wasn't long enough to reach the location of the toaster or the coffee maker where they wanted to operate it. It was used on both. So they hooked about 40 foot of communication wire to it, which you can see is very small.
That light wire, huh?
Light wire is attached to the iron cord, and of course it's spliced up here with electrician's tape to extend it about some 40 feet.
You mean this was used to operate a toaster?
That was used to operate, to alternate between the toaster and the coffee maker.
What foolish things we mortals will do sometimes, huh?
Now, Joel, this is what we mean by our electrical arithmetic. Here, as you can see, the various appliances, the bulbs, the soldering iron, the toaster, the fan, and so forth, that is connected on this electrical circuit. The circuit is fused with a 15-amp fuse. Over here, we have added up the wattage that is consumed. Your wattage that you're consuming divided by the number of volts of electricity coming into your building will give you the amperage that you're using. Now, in this particular instance, everything is all right because our fuse is a 15-ampere fuse, and we're only using 9 amperes of electricity. But the thing that we don't take into consideration is we have the house, our probably a 25-year-old house with the original wiring. The circuits are fused the same as they were when we bought the house. Now, Joel, here is a house that we have rigged, a model house, to demonstrate the discussion that we had with our electrical arithmetic chart. When we flip our switch, of course, we see our light comes on, and we register very little amperage here because we're using only 100 watts. Now, as we hooked up other appliances to this, such as our toasters and space heaters and so forth, our amp meter will show extra current being consumed. Now, when we hook up, say, a toaster, for instance, we start using more current. As we plug in the washing machine, well, of course, we have more current that is used. And then our TV, or we turn that on, or our electrical refrigerator kicks in, and your fuse blows, and of course your circuit is saved. There's no fire is started.
That's where the 15-amp fuse saves the house.
That's where the 15-amp fuse saves the house. Now, what normally happens, we take the fuse out, and we either don't have a 15-amp fuse, or we decide that the 15-amp fuse is not heavy enough for the load that we want to carry. So we reach down in the old pocket and get out a penny and stick it back of it. Now, sometimes pennies don't have enough value to do it, so we'll use a nickel this time. Let's turn it off here so we don't get bit while we're doing it. Put the nickel back of it, light up our light, and then we start all over again adding our appliances to it. There's our toaster. There's our washing machine. Here's our TV set. And then, of course, the electric refrigerator has got to burn. Now, Joel, we have that circuit completely overloaded now with many more amperes of electricity being used than the wiring in the house will stand. Any minute now, you'll notice the smoke start rising from the top of the house, and immediately following the smoke, well, of course, you'll see the old flame that will burst up.
Well, Chief Welch, I think we've learned something today. We want to thank you very much for this demonstration. I think it's been very helpful, not only to our observance of Fire Prevention Week, but also giving our audience some very concrete ideas about how they might prevent some fires at home.
Well, thank you, Joel, for the compliment, and we was too glad to do it. Appreciate you folks coming down to let us get this bit in for Fire Prevention Week 1956.
We were delighted to visit you here at your United States Navy Structural Firefighting School, and we certainly thank you for your courtesy and hospitality.
Thank you again, Joel.